Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ranking Up on Sportsnet. I'm your host, Adam Lawler, and I'll be steering you guys through the insanity that is the Rocket League esports scene. Luckily, we've got you covered here at Sportsnet, and we're going to be kicking the show off with the top 10 for the best goals, saves, action-packed moments from all those off-season matches. After that, we'll sit down in the court of Lawler where I'll give you guys my verdict on the top 5 teams you have to pay attention to entering the next RLCS season. And last but not least, because there was an hour-long announcement in the offseason for the 2021-2022 season, I'll be breaking down the copious amounts of questions about what the heck is going on with the upcoming season of RLCS. Ranking Up on Sportsnet starts now. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ranking Up on Sportsnet. We've missed you guys. A little bit of a hiatus due to the offseason, but like I mentioned in the intro, just because there's a little bit of a hiatus doesn't necessarily mean that there's no Rocket League esports to go and enjoy. I want to see the awesome flip resets. I want to see the double touches. I want to see the crazy team pass plays, or a person totally putting a whole team on ice skates. We got a little bit of that and more. So with that said, let's get into our top 10. 10 to 1. Run it.
To now run it. Forrest Company down the pitch. Turbo looking for miss once again for the finishing touch. The miss with the fadeaway. Squishy.
Look at this.
Well, he's letting himself in.
That's ridiculous. You try and knock down the defense, and here's Squishy off the inside of the goal. Garrett just spectating as he chopped them to pieces by himself. Walks it into an open net.
Very close to that Dignitas Vitality game we saw earlier. These two teams just looking to play safe, cautious, defensive-heavy Rocket League, and he's made him flinch.
Rapid dives in, and everybody's waiting for the flick. It's coming here. No here. No here. No, it's just not coming. Everybody bid on it. 1-0. Now Kate up, has very peek across, may have to call his own number, and it's just off the post. What a save, and another one from Astral.
Incredible defense from K-Corp. The ball was on their goal line multiple times as Vitality was stretching as far as they could, but could not find the back of the net, and that's a huge moment here as the clean sheet still intact for K-Corp.
Universe is going to come on your side. Astro going to do it individually. And Oath still in a position. I mean, he can hold this and get teammates in a position with the demo. That's what we're talking about. That's what Oath brings. He's an X factor. He just holds it long enough, and true neutral bite on the bait.
My gosh. Jack is still downfield, and K-Dop had to get up quickly to make sure he didn't have maybe the goal that put things away. Jory is at least harassing Alpha, but that's a good job by Alpha staying with possession. Even better by Jorius to stay with this. Still down in front. No way! Absolutely no way!
Look at the excitement on the Dignitas players. They don't even believe that has happened. Jory's just getting that little touch to keep it on the line.
Leads into 2, 3, 4 goals. Exit needs one back here quickly. Hoxer might have the opportunity to do so as this one's cleared away.
Boy, that is great defensively out of Reddles. Staying with that play as long as he could, and then he's rewarded on the other side.
No way. Arsenal.
Oh, Arsenal, knock it off.
Gets the full boost, bumps the last man.
Not this time. And that's been the theme for NRG and for Shopify Rebellion. Just, not this time.
What a play.
Oh my gosh, Rapid.
With a winky face afterwards, and I feel it, buddy. That little wave dash in there, the flick, and Justin.
That it was a 3-0 scoreline to the general NRG. It is so close, and both these teams were wrestling to get the upper hand. And very
what a
quickly,
shot!
What is that? My goodness. What? Hello? Post? I don't even care. That was remarkable. 30 seconds in, I was about to say NRG have the upper hand. Garrett went underneath and did that.
Need to do what is not quite impossible, but certainly improbable. Bringing it back from 0-3 down. They've got one down. 3 to go when the ball finally touches down as AJG gets one more for the road.
This is the best goal of the game so far. I mean, just baits everybody, even his own teammate. But I love what I saw from True Neutral.
It could go 2 series to BDS and they'll drop about 2 games. I thought it was going to be 4-1, 4-1, in all honesty.
Pass! What a pass! What a pass!
Do not dare count Karmine Corp out of it. Like you said, an incredible pass comes straight down from the heavens, from Astral, straight on over the stake, and he is going to thank it kindly. KC looking somewhat celestial with that one.
Well, there you have it. Your top 10 plays from the offseason for the Rocket League esports scene, and a lot of really good ones. Let us know what your guys' favorites are. Feel free to tweet at myself or Sportsnet at Lawler TV and at Sportsnet on Twitter. And use the hashtag RL on SN and let us know if we missed any or ones that you think should be involved. But up next, we've got the Court of Lawler. We've got a bunch of teams answering those questions. And I'm going to give you guys my top 5 teams that you just absolutely have to pay attention to headed into the next season. Court of Lawler coming up next. This entire offseason, we were trying to answer some questions. With all these roster changes, with everything going on, after we get done with these offseason tournaments, who are the top dogs? Is there any new teams that we should be paying attention to? And we got a lot of answers. In today's Court of Lawler, I'm going to be bringing you guys through a little bit of history, basically kind of recapping the offseason, as well as going into some of the teams that may have shocked and surprised. There was 2 major tournaments that went down in the offseason. One of them, Wave Dash, put on by community member Dazarin, where he had the best teams in North America for the first time come out and compete. And the other one, which was one I actually got to be a desk analyst for, was the We Play Esports Rocket League Invitational.
Oh, you better think fast. I never thought you'd fall from first to last.
$50,000 for the top 8 in North America and $50,000 for the top 8 in the EMEA region. And boy, did we get some surprises. Teams that were once forgotten about, like Dignitas, battling all the way back to playing top 3. Teams like K-Corp, where they take one of the best players in the world, and who would have thought you put it on a previous top 3 roster and they go and win the whole thing. To no surprise isn't really a shock. But I do want to put some focus onto teams that aren't getting enough love. The teams that did some surprising things in the offseason that caught my personal attention. Teams that I think could sneak through the proverbial radar. My top 5 dark horses for the upcoming season, and court is officially in session. From the Oceania region, there is one team that stands out and definitely doesn't get enough love, and they've continued their dominance for the entire past year, and it's got to be the one and only Ground Zero Gaming. This team, if you guys do know Team BDS, the team that everybody considered the best team in the world, Ground Zero Gaming had the exact same type of results, albeit a lesser known region. Ground Zero Gaming had such a dominating performance that they also, in the overall rankings, were the only other team throughout the entire league in less events to pull 5,000 league play points. That is absolutely exceptional. They continuously were dominant compared to every other team, and arguably were the top dogs through the 11th month season. That still persists in the offseason, and although there is some competition, I have high expectations for this team to be the best representation from the OCE region, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. Up next, if you are a fan of Rocket League, primarily in the European region, you've probably heard of this team that goes by the name of Sandrock Gaming, and this one to me is very special. The Middle Eastern region has never really gotten love in the sense of Rocket League, and a lot of the players from that region have been waiting for 5 to 6 years for their opportunity to go and compete at the world level. And there hasn't really been a lot of communication about it. There hasn't really been the opportunity for a region that has shown promise, the chance to go and compete against the big dogs, the best of the best, the world championship with everything on the line, and a $6 million prize pool to boot. Sandrock Gaming came to be because an individual by the name of Incivic, their owner, went above and beyond and provided some of the best players in Saudi Arabia a chance to compete against a team. He put up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 tournaments just so he could let his team actually compete against the best in Europe. We are finally getting Sandrock Gaming, Senzo, Ahmad, TRK, trying to compete against their region for a chance to take a wildcard spot at the World Championships for RLCS 2021-2022. Sandrock Gaming has notably been talked about how these three particular players are some of the best, not only in the region, but also in the world. If you've ever got to watch them in show matches, if you've ever got to see them in open space, this is a team without a doubt that has the best of the best mechanics without the exposure of the best regions in the world. Which scares me, because if they finally get to compete against international competition for the first time in 6 years, what does that mean for the rest of us? Does that mean they're just going to keep getting better? Sandrock Gaming, pay attention to them. Now, there could be a bunch of different teams to talk about in Europe, as it is one of the regions with the best depth, but a lot of people have been kind of shying away from this team because there's been others that have really taken the spotlight, and that's why this team really gets my love. SK Gaming was a team that was basically a leftover. When the going got tough and roster changes were happening, these are the players that got kicked to the side. These were the players that nobody wanted to give any love to, and now they've come together for a greater purpose. Listen to this. 7 out of 10 of the most recent losses for SK Gaming in the most recent tournaments that we've had in the offseason come from the top 6 teams that qualified for last season's World Championship. The only losses they're really receiving come from the majority of the other best teams in the world. Other than that, they're winning. We only got to see them for 3 to 4 months, and now we've had 6 to 7 months of them refining the process, having financial backing with an organization, and an opportunity to bring that all to the next season. People can talk about the BDSs, the Dignitases, the resurgence of a couple other rosters with Carmine Corp, but SK Gaming towards the tail end of the season was the one team that left an everlasting impression on me, and they're doing it with people that everybody thought was washed up. People that they thought, including their coach, couldn't do it, couldn't hang anymore. And to me, I say, the heck with that. If you want to find a motivated player, there's no one better than people on that team. People that have been doubted their entire career because they've been overshadowed by their former teammates. This team has a lot of merit to it, and I'm excited that SK Gaming is going to be my dark horse for the European region. Now, argument states that you can bring South America or OCE to the World Championship, and neither of them really have a chance. But I will say that between the two, South America being the latest region that got introduced, starting to climb up that ladder, starting to showcase that they too have some of the most mechanically cracked players in the world.
My friend here, Justin, he's already taken, and he's cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
The difficulty is South America's best representation, which we mentioned in the last episode. True Neutral decided to pack up and move their bags to North America for a chance to compete against one of the better regions. We did a whole section, a whole segment on it. Make sure you guys go check it out. It's actually pretty interesting. Primarily, I was wondering who's going to step up in the South American region. Who's going to be the team that takes the reins over? And there was a couple obvious answers, but none more than Team Furia. If you guys have never heard of Team Furia, this was a team that pretty much went toe-to-toe with everybody else in the region. This team that was constantly second place in all these other tournaments, or if they were able to beat True Neutral, went on to win the whole thing. This team just got a massive upgrade. If you guys don't remember the top 10 from previous episodes where there was a guy named Jan, my boy, the guy that was hitting nasty clips, if you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure production will throw a couple in there for you guys.
Jan. Oh, he's got the flip. Oh, he got it.
Jan up the left field line like a demon, and he's coming like a bat out of hell. 6-2 Brazil.
Those mid boosts falling down. Can he track it? Yes, he can. Jan, you are an absolute monster.
Now, whether you are on the Furia train or not, to me doesn't matter, because I do know that Jan is my boy, and he's going to keep hitting those clips left and right like he always does. Now, let's not leave out his teammates, as they also are part of the reason why this team can continue to be aggressive and in your face. And a lot of people, pros themselves, have stated in practices at LAN that if South American teams can continue to perform the way they do in scrims and do that on stage, they're unstoppable. Nobody can beat them. So you're telling me you're taking a team that already plays like that, and you're adding that piece of the puzzle that makes them faster, more aggressive, more consistent? Yeah, Furia is going to be one of my dark horse teams. We got to answer a lot of questions I mentioned in this offseason at the beginning of this segment for the Court of Lawler. And one team more than all has completely changed the minds of the entire world who got to watch. Shopify Rebellion is my fifth and final team, and it has to do with one thing. consistency. Consistency is the bread and butter of Rocket League. The ability to, week in and week out, show up and perform at the potential we know you have. One team in particular during the We Play Invitational really caught my attention, and it was Shopify Rebellion. I have never seen a team with that much aggression and that much attention to detail on offense show such consistency on offensive threat. And that's what really wins championships in Rocket League, is the ability to play really threatening offense and suffocate the defense of the other team. This Kansas City Pioneers team, now Shopify Rebellion, over the course of the season, was able to surprise and shock everybody and then bring the one thing they were missing, which was consistency. Everybody should be afraid of this Shopify Rebellion team as they round out my top 5 teams in the Court of Lawler that you have to pay attention to in the upcoming season. Again, as a recap, my top 5 Dark Horse teams, my verdict on teams you absolutely have to pay attention to this season or going into next season. Ground Zero Gaming from OCE, Sandrock Gaming from the Middle East, you've got SK Gaming from Europe, Furia from South America, and then Shopify Rebellion from North America. And excuse the boo-boo on my thumb, I made an oopsie earlier this week. But those top 5 teams, those teams from their region can shock and awe everybody. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I hope they get a bunch of new fans because they definitely have earned it. But with that said, that is my top 5 teams, top 5 Dark Horse teams that you have to pay attention to headed into the RLCS 2021 and 2022 season. But that's not it about the season coming up. There was an hour-and-a-half long announcement for the upcoming season, and in the mailbag, I'm going to be answering all you guys' copious questions about what the heck is going on. Stay tuned.
You've got mail. You've got mail. You've got mail.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Community Mailbag, my favorite segment of Ranking Up on Sportsnet. The ability to actually sit and talk with the community, showcase some of your guys' favorite clips, and I will say, even though you guys submitted a ton of different clips, and if you guys would like to submit more, tweet at us. Hashtag RL on SN, tweet at me, at Lawler TV, or at Sportsnet on Twitter. We'd love to see what you guys have. And like I said, there was a bunch of different clips, but there was also way more questions in regards to what is going on with the next season. The RLCS 2021-2022 season had an hour-long announcement, if you want to call that. It was basically showcasing a bunch of different things that they were going to be changing and revamping, and the keyword streamlining the upcoming season. So instead of answering 40 different questions, we're going to take that entire amount and we're going to summarize it here in 4 parts. Up first, there is new regions coming to the upcoming season, 4 in particular. This season, and for the first time in Rocket League history, is going to be the first time we get a true world championship. So really excited to bring in a bunch of different regions, and along with that, a lot more competition and new faces. Part 2, format revamp. They're taking the format from old and simplifying it, streamlining it, as I mentioned. That's the big focus for this season, streamlining it, making it go as smooth as possible and as easy to understand. Breaks down in 3 different ways. There's 3 different splits: fall, winter, and spring. And in every single split, there is 3 regional events and 1 major. If you do well in the regional events, you get to go attend the major. And if you do well in the majors, you get to go to the World Championship. It is a circuit-based system. How you perform in every single event matters on your path to the World Championship. And did I forget to mention, it's a $6 million prize pool this season. $6 million with an M. The World Championship is going to play over the course of 2 weeks. Based upon how everybody performs throughout all those regionals and majors, you'll either go to the wild card in the first week or the main event in the second week. They take a bunch of teams in the wild card from everywhere in the world and try to weed them down, and the top 8 from that then go join the other 8 that have already qualified for the main event. The main event, everybody competes in a week-long tournament. We all rejoice because Rocket League is back on the main screen, and we crown a world champion. Should be pretty fun.
And there was much rejoicing.
Part 3, broadcast updates and technology. This may not be as exciting for all of you, but for me, it's a blast. As you can see, there's a bunch of cool augmented reality stuff. There's certain things here, like Formula 1 cars and everything, that they're actually doing with a thing called Unreal Engine 5. It's a rendering engine that allows people in production companies to basically make and take assets from the game and really flesh them out over a quick period of time. In the past, some of these renderings can take 3 to 4 months, and now they can do some of this stuff overnight. the ability to give personalized touches throughout the broadcast to really make you feel like it's something special. Things like this, visual representation, although to the mainstream don't really feel like a big deal, to the casuals they don't really notice it, to the diehard fans that are really invested, these are the types of things that keep you coming back for more, even though you may not even notice it. And last but not least, number 4, my favorite, the reason why I love this game so much: LANs, local area network, live events, the ability to play against another team with no latency, no ping, the ability to put everything on the line and show us what you got in front of, 10, 20, 30,000 people live in a stadium and millions online. Because don't forget, Rocket League's crushing it in the viewership. They did announce in the initial post that for the first time in 2 years, on December 8th, the teams will be going to Stockholm, Sweden to compete in person. This is something that has not happened since 2019 in December. It has been a very, very long time since we have gotten to see not only in-person competition with no excuses, but also international competition. The ability for teams all over the world to compete against each other. And currently that hasn't been a possibility because a person over here is having, delays when they go to hit the ball, or the ball, kind of rubber bands and goes back to a position. Things that we can't have when we're trying to compete for tens of millions of dollars. It's not a thing that you can do. So the LANs coming back was something that a lot of us were nervous about. We didn't know if they were going to be able to be possible. But the fact that they confirmed that, to me, is the biggest thing. The fact that we get to watch these LANs come back and the ability for us to watch these competitors play. Stockholm, Sweden, December 8th. You're going to break the internet. I'm looking forward to it. The season gets underway right now. This weekend, if you guys would like to, tune in at twitch.tv/Rocket League, where you can watch the best of the best in the world compete for $6 million over the course of the next 11 plus months. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. With that said, it has been an absolute pleasure covering all this stuff for you, and I hope I've done a good job preparing you for the upcoming season. But again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to hit us up on social media. That does it for me. This has been your 3rd episode of Ranking Up on Sportsnet. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.